Okay, let's get this thing going.
Why are we here?
We can only teleport. 2 toasters. Toast continue. We've been over this. I took us to the mech so we could escape.
Okay, let's go!
Oh no! Plot contrivances just collided with our Deus Ex Machina. We're falling through a temporal spiral. Of doom!
Is that a bad thing? I don't understand technobabble.
Yes, that's a bad thing. Ah, good. The toaster just fused with the mech. That should give us some control over our destination. Bring it up on the view screen, sidekick.
Why am I your sidekick?
Because I'm in the captain's chair.
Fine, whatever you say. Captain. The scanners are telling me that we've landed somewhere prehistoric.
At the very least, it's somewhere before color was invented. It looks unsafe, unstable, uncivilized. We need to invent civilization.
Does that mean what I think it means?
It does. The settlers of Catan.
Windmill for the land, I'm forever hand in hand. Take it all out on your stride, it is taking falling down. Love forever, love is free, let time forever, you and me. Windmill for the land, is everybody
No. You know we can't review the Settlers of Catan. It requires at least 3 players.
That's very true. The Settlers of Catan does require at least 3 players. And so we will have to reserve it for another time, another place, and another guest reviewer.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean we're out of options yet.
Oh, right! The Catan card game.
Exactly. A card game designed specifically for 2 players.
The Settlers of Catan is a multiplayer board game, first published in 1995. In it, the players assume the role of settlers in the game board, each attempting to build and develop their settlements while trading and acquiring resources. Players are rewarded points as their settlements grow, and the first to reach 10 points is the winner. Published in 1996, the Catan card game was the first of many spin-off games to be set in the world of Catan.
During game setup, you choose a faction, either red or blue.
Shouldn't it be purple or green, being the traditional colors of royalty?
You know what? You get red.
I get red. Does it make a difference?
Not at all.
Fair enough. Okay, we've got the game all set up down here on the floor, where it would be very difficult for any third party who happened to be looking in to actually see it. Actually, I don't think we're going to have enough space, even with how big the floor is.
Yeah, this game can actually get bigger than the Settlers of Catan board game. It takes a lot more table space.
Huh.
But, yeah, it's going to get a little difficult to see it down there. Let's bring it up on the view screen.
How'd you, wipe the mech? What?
You left me alone with the mech for 30 seconds. I had to fix a few things.
What did you break in the process? It better not have been my antique tea set. I will be very upset.
You know what else I love about this game?
Oh no. It has specialty
It
dice.
has specialty dice.
Gosh dang it.
The great thing about this die is that it adds a chaos factor to the game, so that way you're constantly in dread of what's going to be rolled every turn.
Oh, I just love being in constant dread in my 2-player games. So the interesting thing about the Catan card game is that at the start of the game, you get to set up your opening hand.
Wow, that seems like it could be really, really powerful.
Well, you'd think that, but actually, there are a lot of cards that you can't play till later on in the game. So really, it's just to make sure that you don't get screwed on your first couple turns.
Oh, so you can't get mana screwed in this game.
That's another review. Another interesting thing about the Catan card game is the fact that resources aren't tracked by cards in your hand, they're tracked by cards that are actually on the table, for everyone to see. In order to keep track of how much of a resource you have, you rotate the card. Like that. That's kind of creepy.
So, like in many of the Catan games, you build roads and settlements and cities to gain victory points. Once you get to 12 victory points, you win the game.
12? Wait. 1, 2... How long does this game take?
About 2 hours. Another interesting thing about this game is how multifaceted it is. Not only do you have to keep track of the military, but you also have to keep track of commerce as well.
Alright, well I think we've beaten around the bush enough. Let's jump right into gameplay.
Alright.
So in the early turns of the game, in general, you'll want to be expanding as much as possible in your principality, building more settlements here and there so that you can gain access to more resources and, in general, more options. Now, occasionally you'll build a building or two, but usually you're just going to stick to your settlements to start with.
But what about cities?
We'll get to that.
Now, an interesting thing about the Catan card game is that there's a very definite point when it becomes the mid-game.
Right. When the total of both players' points becomes 7.
Exactly. At that point you can start playing action cards like the Arsonist or the Spy.
Right. What was the point of that? If they don't know what an arsonist or a spy is, this isn't going to help them. Why? So once you've advanced your principality a reasonable amount and got access to more resources than just the starting amount, it's time that you should finally build a city. A place where you could have a bathhouse, or a town hall, or a mint.
Or a plague.
No card appeared.
Why would I have a card appear?
You just said play. And if you construct a church in your city, your cannons and knights are completely protected from the effects of civil war.
Actually, cannons and Civil War aren't even in the base game. They're in the expansions.
Games can plan for expansions?
It seems rather difficult to retake the lead in this game once you're behind.
Well, like many other games, this game works on the principle of momentum. What you've done in your previous turns will affect your future turns and what you're capable of doing in them. Being that, if you've done more in your previous turns, you will be able to do more in your future turns, and if you're in the lead, generally speaking, your opponent has done less, giving them less that they can do to put themselves back into the lead, barring extenuating circumstances or MacGuffins.
Why do you keep saying that line?
I'm trying to get a backup catchphrase. I'm a wizard!
One of the things I don't like about this game is how actively antagonistic you are against the other player. In the Settlers of Catan, you do try and cooperate just to get some of your resources. In this game, there's nearly no reason to trade with your opponent.
Yeah, well, in general, in the Settlers of Catan, you can usually trade with someone who's lower on the totem pole than you, without worry of them coming out ahead in the process. Whereas in this, you're only playing against one other person, which means if they're agreeing to a trade, it's probably in their best interest.
Why'd you do that?
What? I'm a wizard. I can do that sort of thing.
Alright, and that's the Catan card game. It's pretty good overall. It's a little annoying at parts, but the thing that bothers me the most is that there's not really any fantasy elements in it.
Yeah, I do enjoy my fantasy, obviously. And with all the knights running around and stuff, you'd think there'd be...
I'm a target.
Did you just hear something mildly annoying?
Yeah, what is that?
I'm a Dargan.
Oh no.
Gosh dang it.
I'm a prehistoric Dargan. I'm a Dargan. I'm a Dargan. Ulagarak. I'm a prehistoric Dargan. Activating cloaking device. I'm a Dargan. I'm a Dargan. That tickles. I can't die. I'm a Dargan.
Windmill for the night, I'm forever hiding. And take it all out on your stride. It is taking falling down.
Lying naked on the floor, illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see I'm more than a bird, I'm more than a plane, I'm a bird plane. Just wanted to make that absolutely unusable for you.
Fair enough.